Now let's come down to our modify tool, our modification tool here. This now erase is used to erase an object you've created. Maybe you want to delete also. There are three ways of using the erase. You can either select this and select the object you want to erase, it will erase it and press enter, or you use the short command of, once you select it, you select the object and then short command of E for erase and enter. It's still the same thing. Or you select it and just simply press delete, it will still erase. So that's just the three ways of erasing an object. And the other one is copy. If maybe I want to copy from one part to another, I'll just simply select the object I want to copy and then I'll click on copy, specify my base points, then I can copy it to no, I can copy it multiple times. I can copy it multiple times. And copy works with distance. You can also input your distance. Maybe I want to copy it with a distance of this. Let's assume I want to copy it with a distance in this direction with a distance of 100 millimeters. Enter. It has copied. It is, where is it? Sorry. It has copied, but you know the 100 millimeter is a very small measurement. So this is just, it just copied it near close to it there. Let's use this as an example. Let's copy this. Let me use the short command this time around, CO for copy. Then I'll select my base point, give it the direction, and let's try 1000 millimeters. 1000. This is the 1000 here. This is it here. Can you see it? This is the 1000. I think 1002 is still also kind of small, but that's just how to use copy. You can either copy without measurement, or and you can copy with measurement also. And then this, which is the mirror tool, it is more or less, it works like a duplicate, or maybe more or less like a copy also. But in this time around, you just assume you are looking yourself into the mirror, in which once you copy it, you are still looking at your front view, something like that. Yeah, you are still seeing yourself in front of a mirror. That's just how the mirror works. So let's assume I want to mirror this now. I've selected it, then I'll click on mirror. Then it will ask me to specify first point of mirror line. But in the case where maybe you are making your drawing, and let's assume, okay, you draw your bedroom and the toilet, and then instead of you redrawing, maybe you are creating a two-bedroom flat now, for example, and instead of you redrawing it again, you've drawn the first part. Instead of you now redrawing it, you can just select the bedroom and the toilet together and mirror it to the other side to form your second bedroom instead of you redrawing it. So in that case, now you can just select a common midpoint. So it will be equal to each other. In this case, now let's select our point. Let me assume this is my midpoint here, and then this is it. I can give it the direction I want it to be. Now I want it to be on the other side here at this part here. So I'll just raise it up and then I'll click it. It will now ask me if I want to erase the source object, which is the original object. It will ask me that question. If I should click on yes, it will erase this and leave this. But if I should click on no, it will leave both. It will not erase the source object. Now this is it. I clicked on no. So it's leaving the two objects. Now the other one, which is the offset. Offset is the same as copy, but with a specified distance. Offset does not work without distance. No matter what you are offsetting, it actually works with distance. And offset only works with a single line, not multiple line. Maybe you are copying two, three lines together. Offset will not work in that case. It only works like this ellipse now is still a single line. A single line is forming this circle. So definitely offset will work. Let's try it. I've selected the circle and the ellipse, sorry, and I click on offset. You know, I said offset will never work without distance. It's now asking me to specify offset distance now. So now let me use 1000 as my offset distance. Okay, it's saying cannot offset that object. Definitely this object cannot be offsetted. So now let's try this polygon, for example. Let's see if it will be able to offset. Let's use 1000. it cannot offset this object also. I don't know why it's saying it cannot offset it. Let's try this and see if we can offset it. 1000 is still there. Why is it saying cannot offset this object? Okay, it's offsetting now. It's offsetting. Okay, I understand what is going on. The 1000 is too large. Let's try this again. The 1000 is too large for it to be offsetted inside the object. That's why I say it cannot offset. Let's try the offset again. 1000. No, this case, don't let us use 1000 because it will be too large. Let's try 250, for example. 250. Okay, still cannot offset that ellipse. Maybe because it's an ellipse, I don't know. Let's try the circle. Yeah, it will offset the circle. This now it copied the same circle inside now. Definitely the radius and the diameter will be different, but they are both having the same center. So I just offsetted it inside, but now I offsetted it with a specified distance. That's just the way offset works. And it works with a single line. So don't let me use straight line, a single line. This poly This rectangle now I drew with polyline now. It will work for it because everything like this is still a single unit. It's still a single line. Let's try it. It's still a single line, 250. Do you see? It offsetted it inside, but the 250 is too small for this. So that's just how offset works. And then the other one, which is rectangular array, that one, yeah, we used it. We use rectangular array also. Maybe you want to create a pattern, maybe like your railings and so on. And the array we are having, I think, three different type of array. Let's type the shortcut to see the three different types. We're having array. Come in, let's see. Now we're having rectangular array, path array, and polar array. For the rectangular array now, it's maybe in a straight line. You want to create a pattern across a straight line. That's when you use rectangular array. Maybe, for example, your balustrades now for your railings is a straight line type. And for the path array now, maybe you create a path. You want to create a path for in which the array will pass through. For example, let's say your circular stairs, all these elliptical helical stairs now, you have to create the path in which the railings will follow and everything like that. So that's when you use path array. But for polar array, that's maybe when you are dealing with a circular object, something like this. You want to divide this, you want to create a pattern across the circle, then you use the polar array for that. And the move tool is used to move an object from one place to another. Just similarly to the copy tool, you can move also with a specified distance and you can just move. It will completely move an object from one place to another, and you can also move it with with a specified distance, sorry. And then the rotate tool is used to rotate an object across the four cardinal points, I think, yeah. So let's assume these are our north, the east, the south, and the west. So that's just the usefulness of rotate. You want to rotate it from one direction facing another direction. That's the use of rotate. And this scaling is used to scale your drawing. Maybe you can scale your drawing and you can scale the object on your sheet, on your worksheet, maybe by enlarging or reducing. You can input distance and you can just click, select the object, and then you can just drag to increase. It's very large now because I've increased it. So, and you can use it also by inputting your measurement. Let's assume I want to make it half of this now, half of this. I can just click, I can just use, I'm coming. Okay, I want to reduce it into, I want to divide this by 2 now. I want to reduce it to a smaller scale now. To a no, not times 2 this time around, divided by 2 now, yeah. And I want to reduce it to half this scale now. What I'll do now, I'll increase my first scale, which is 1:1. This is the whole scale, and enter. Now I want to reduce it to half of this scale, which is 2, half of it. If I should increase the 2 first before 1, definitely I want to make it a double scale. I want to enlarge it times 2. But now I want to reduce it by 2 now. Okay, it enlarges, so definitely it's opposite. It works opposite in the opposite manner. Now let's repeat it again. Let's do 2, enter, and 1. Sorry, I made mistake earlier, um which is 1, enter, and then 0.5. Sorry, I'm supposed to use 0.5 instead of 2. It's 0.5. It will reduce it by 2. So that's just how the scale works. 1.5. So you can reduce it to not only by 2, you can reduce it by 5, you can reduce it by 10, depending on the scale you want to use. Maybe it's too large, or it's too small, you want to increase it or you want to decrease it. That's just how the scale works.